This song is for heavy women only. I played here last Thursday and a big woman, 565 pounds, came up. She was attracted to me and she looked me dead in the eye and she said some stuff. So I wrote a song about it. Little thing go like this.
What is this we're listening to? What is this we're listening to? Charlie Tuna at the Sand Dollar. Sometime in December 2000, I took my tape recorder and taped when I sat in with him. Because to me, he's the man with the blues in this town. You know, he's waxing anybody else, so.
I was in the Bobby Bland's band. And we did a lot of package shows with the Guitar Watson, Bobby Bland, and Albert King.
Peace, love.
All together. I just came from the part where it's the real blues for real. No devices. Real, none but a guitar and an amp, and say what you need to say. I come up in a hard family. My daddy always wanted me to play the blues. I was a young guy and I wanted to play pop and soul and jazz. And he always said, when you get through with all of that, you're gonna wind up playing the blues when you really find out what music is really about. And he was right.
So I had to do this. I'm gonna move my outside woman in and my inside woman out. Sometimes you gotta do that.
From all the people I've seen, he's the kind of guy, he's playing a solo and he can just make you crack up laughing because he's outrageous within the notes he plays. I mean, the notes themselves, it's not so much he's doing any kind of tricks, it's just the notes are so creative and funny in a way. And then when they're burning, you know, and when they're serious, and when they're lighthearted, they're lighthearted, you know, and he's got a lot of colors in between.
A lot of times here in Vegas, they don't really understand the blues yet. They're kind of still catering to the yuppie kind of thing still. A lot of it is plastic. Never have the blues, then you're not really living. You're just kind of dead walking around, you know what I mean, and don't know it.
Charlie Tuna is my favorite guitar player in Las Vegas, period.
The state of the live music scene in Las Vegas is pretty far behind the times.
I'm sure any town, but especially for this town, bands do not last. Clubs don't even last. You know what I mean? There's so much shit going on that, and if you don't get the right vibe happening, man, you're not going to get nothing going here. You know, it's really not going to happen.
When I started doing it as a teenager back in the 80s, there was a lot more gigs, a lot more clubs, a lot more enthusiasm about it. There'd always be, you know, people there, and you know, people that are into live music, and it just seems to have changed in the last like 4 or 5 years for the worse.
I think that the live music scene in Las Vegas is growing. Las Vegas has now crested over 1 million people. It's starting to become more of a cultural-based community, as opposed to, well, as recently as 5-6 years ago.
I mean, as far as just like a local music scene of people getting together and going, yeah, it's Friday night, let's go out and, you know, let's see who's playing at whatever place. That doesn't really happen because there aren't a whole lot of places to go see bands.
We've got a lot more that's going on in the town as far as places to actually see live music.
This is one especially dedicated to Alan. He's the one who brought us back to B.
Spiral eyes and sparkling diamond skies.
So in 1995, I was in Vermont. My dad lives in Vermont. And I was walking in the woods, and I had what would be considered as a psychotic episode. In mental terms, psychiatry terms, I guess.
Everything just flows through. Everything just flows through. And the wind it blows into.
But I was out in the woods in the middle of nowhere, and I was hearing sounds like of clapping and people cheering and whistling, like, but it was in my head, you know, and I just freaked out, man.
Along the ocean, floating waves, swimming in the breeze. Liquid skies, sing silent lullabies.
This also happened again recently after the last Carney Mike appearance. The thing is, I thought at the time that I had became a famous musician, drummer, which I believe that I kind of am famous already.
The magic comes alive. You get sucked into the vibe with sparkling spiral eyes.
I ended up going into a hospital for a week, a mental hospital. And it was really depressing when you come out of that and realize that, you know, that didn't happen, you know.
Sea of green, amazing sights unseen.
It was real nice, man. It made me real comfortable in the hospital, but there was weird little serendipitous things that I was hearing.
Electric blue, everything just flows.
I thought it was on the radio, you know, channeling through some radio connection. It's hard to explain that to anybody. But in late January of this year, when George Lyons played us on his show, I actually was on the radio, and there was, you know, I was playing a drum solo, and I was listening to it in the sound booth, kind of doing my little dance and really tripping out. I opened up my eyes, and Rob had his camera kind of pointing like you do right now. So that actually came true.
We'll be right back. Thanks a lot.
My name's Nicole Satelli, and I'm a singer. I sing for the band Mama Zeus. Damon is one of my best friends. We were kind of like high school sweethearts. Damon's one of the funniest guys that I've ever met in my life. He just cracks me up every time I see him. He's a total goofball.
Fallen comrade.
Oh, well, he's dead now.
This is the ode to a roach. where did you come? Originally, I mean. I don't mean your ancestors necessarily, I just mean you. I mean, was it this neighborhood? Was it the surrounding desert area? Or was it Mexico, where a real cockroaches come from? Did you just come from a fucking dumpster behind the El Rancho, motherfucker? Because I've seen your fucking family before. Where did you go? Where have you been? We miss you, Mr. Roach. Come back to us. We would like to know where you've been. Drop a fucking postcard. You've been gone 5 minutes already. I miss you, darling. Good night.
I firmly believe that Damon's going to go even bigger places than he is. The only advice that I could give him would be about promotion and stuff like that, because I've been doing it for so long. I pretty much do all the promotion for Mama Zeus, like as far as making the flyers and distributing them and all that stuff. So I mean, I've given him advice that way, but he knows what to do.
There's different things going on in the band now with, I would say morale is not at an all-time high because we've come off a couple gigs where there wasn't many people there. We could be like having a case of like overplaying and under-promoting, you know what I mean? But it's hard to promote these little shows in a bar, you know what I mean, where you're not going to make much anyway. I mean, how much can you really do? You can't really come out of pocket to, you can't really spend a lot of money to make very little. Hey, I just talked to Dan. He's got court today at 4:30, but we're going to try to shoot for 6 if you can still. Okay? All right. Later. We're going to practice at Dan's house tonight after he gets out of traffic court. I don't know if everyone's really still down or what,